welcome to the class, and in today's session we are going to discuss a few PYQ questions basically targeting your upcoming NE-SLET exam. So in today's session we are going to have 10 questions, and those all 10 questions are PYQs. So I have collected PYQs from the last 5 years and which were most important. So those questions you have to practice before your exam. So quickly we can jump into the first question, and again in between the questions I will share some tricks and how you can attempt similar type of question or other aspects also we are going to discuss in the coming slide. And of course it is going to be a very brief discussion with only 10 questions, and all of those 10 questions are PYQ from the last 5 years. So you need to keep that in your mind. Okay, so I think we can move to the first slide with the first question, and the question number 1 is asking a number of things can go wrong in research and hence there is a need for what? So there are some options, you can read the options here. So I am quickly elaborating the options with you. So first option is saying that flexibility and perseverance. Yeah. So option B is saying wisdom to know the right time to quit. Okay. Option C, sympathetic supervisors, and then option D, an emergency source of finance. So these are your options. You can check them here, and you also can try to attempt this question by yourself, as it is a PYQ. I'm sure you have gone through this question maybe 1 or 2 times. As the question is asking a number of things can go wrong in research and hence there is a need for, it is asking about a need. Okay, so you need to understand the inherent meaning of this question and then you need to answer. So for now we will not going to look about the first option, quickly checking the other options. Okay, so option number B is saying wisdom to know the right time to quit. So it is kind of a negative sentence. Okay, quit means when you are going to leave your research. So that's never be a suitable option. That's why this is not a correct answer, because it is asking a need. Quitting from a job or from your work can never be a need. Okay. Next option is saying sympathetic supervisor. This is also not your option because it is saying something else. It is regarding the supervisor, but the question is asking that in your research many things are going wrong. How you will fix it? In your research or in your surrounding environment many things are going wrong. How you are going to fix all of it? Okay, so it's kind of, it should have to be a positive one. So option number D is an emergency source of finance, which is also not, not an answer for this one, because the question is again asking about the need of fixing the wrong things. Okay, that's why option number A is the most appropriate answer for this question, and option number A is saying flexibility and perseverance. It means in your research many things are going wrong. How you can come back? So with flexibility and perseverance you can make things correct. That is your correct answer. So I hope you have understood the inherent meaning of this question, and option number A is the correct answer for this one. So in this slide I have also added the explanation for it, and I have already explained many of it, but again I have to mention these 2 terms, that is, one is adaptability and second one is persistent to overcome. It means in your research journey you have to have so many problems, but you need to be more adaptive in that particular field. You need to be more persistent to overcome any challenges. By that only you can complete your research work. Okay, so that should be the mindset of a research scholar, and with that I think we can move to the next question. So question number 2 Again, all of these are PYQs from last previous 5 years. So question number 2 is asking home page of a website is. So you can go through these options. So you all know that in a website there is a first page, that basically the home page where you can get all of the information about that website. In the home page you may find maybe here some sub branches of that particular website or other pages. Okay, so the home page is the most primary page. So in this type of question you need to look for the core type of word. It means which option is showing the core one. Okay, so first option, it is saying primary web page a visitor will view on a website. Okay, it is the most promising and most correct one. So this is the correct answer for this, and we will check the rest of the options also. The final page, the visitor will reach browsing through a website. No, it is saying about the final page. It is not the final page, it will be the first page, the primary page. That's why it is the correct one. Option C is saying portal address of the business. No, this is also not correct because it is just saying about the address. Option number D is saying the page with the richest content in a website. No, because the richest content may be in the second page or maybe in the third page, but the first page is the like overall description of that particular website. That's why that is the primary one. Okay, that's why option number A is correct and rest are not correct. So I have added an explanation here also. You can definitely check this one. So again, home page is the main or starting page of a website, and the basic points you need to mind that it is the entry point of the website, navigation links to other pages, because in the home page you may find some other pages listed in here, so that from home page you can navigate the other pages. Then it summarizes the main information or services given by that particular website. And then here is an example I have added. So when someone opens, for example, www.anything.com, any website, the first page you see, that is the home page. This is very basic, you already know, but this is a PYQ, so you need to keep that in mind. Now next question. So question number 3 is asking consider the sequence. So in this type of question you need to find the pattern, what pattern these numbers are showing. So to find this pattern you need to go through few attempts, like first pattern you find it, then you need to maybe discard it if it is not fulfilling the chronology. So that's how you need to repeat the practice to get the actual pattern, and after that you can correctly do the answer. So for this question, quickly go to the solution part and then you can understand it very easily. So as the question is asking that first number is 4, then 13, then 53, then 266, then 1597, then the next number will be what? So for that I have found this pattern, that 4 into 3 plus 1, 13. See, 4, 230, there is into 3 plus 1. Same way for the next one, with this 13 you need to again into 4. It means here also there is a plus 1 coming towards the bottom. So 13 into 4 plus 1, you have got the next number that is given in the question, 53. Next, with this 53 you just make an into of 5, because 4 plus 1 5, then again this is the continuous pattern, it's following the same one. So plus 1 equal 266, it is also given in the question. Next what you need to do, 266 into 6, because 3, 4, 5, 6, okay, into 6 plus 1, because these are the same one. Then you will get the last number given in the question. Now what you will do, you will go with this 1597 into, here we have found 3, 4, 5, 6, now we will do a 7 plus 1. So after that we will get the answer 11180. I hope you can see the screen properly, and I hope I am not blocking the view. So this is the correct answer, and option number D is the correct answer. But in the exam, to find the correct answer, you need to maybe discard some of the pattern you find before. Okay, for example, if you are searching that into 2, maybe something else you are trying but not getting the answer. So in that particular process, you may lose 1 or 2 minutes, but once you find the pattern, you will get the correct answer. That's why these questions basically comes with very rigorous practice. But although we do not have much time, but I'm sure you have already practiced this type of question, and similar type of question we have practiced in our daily classes also. So I'm sure you will get correct answers for this in the exam also. Now moving to the question number 4. So here there are 2 statements. Okay, you can see these are mathematical statements, but you need to look towards it like those syllogism type of approach you need to have. Okay, so the statement 1, it is saying 2 plus 3 equal 5 and 2 into 3 equal 5. Okay, statement 2 is saying 4 plus 2 equal 2 or 2 plus 4 equal 2. So as these are statement, we need to find which one of this option is most suitable for this one. Okay, so I hope you can understand this one from this particular slide. Here you can see, as the question has given statement 1 as 2 plus 3 equal 5. So which is actually true, mathematically true. So we have marked it as true. Now 2 into 3, that should have to be 6, but the question says 5. So it means this is not correct. It means it is false. Okay, so as you can see, first one is true, second one is false. So true, I mean T, and then false, you will get false. Just like plus and then minus, you go with minus. This type of, whenever you get the pattern of like true and false, you will go with false. You already know about it, and we have discussed it in our daily classes also. Quickly checking the statement number 2. For the first statement, you have got the option as false. Okay, so statement 1 is false. For statement 2, 4 plus 2 is 6, but in the question it is given 2. So this is also a false one. Okay, then next one is saying 2 plus 4. This is 6, but in the question it is given 2. So it is also another a false. So whenever you get false and false, you will go with false. So it means statement 1 is false, statement 2 is also false. So option number A, option number A, statement 1 is false and 2 is also false. That is the correct answer for this question. See, 1 is false, 2 is false. This is the correct answer. Okay, so these are very basic questions, but you just need to keep in mind for this basic background ideas for this type of questions. Okay, now question number 5. The most important cause of failure of a teacher lies in the area of. Okay, so there are 4 options. As the question is asking failure of a teacher, so you definitely find very similar type of options in the exam. So what you need to do, you need to go for the most logical or most competent answer. So quickly checking, option number A is saying verbal ability. Okay, we can keep that for now. Option number B is saying interpersonal relationship. No, this is not true. Option C is saying strict handling of students. See, if the teacher handles the students very strictly, there will be no learning perhaps. So this is also not true. Now option number D is saying lack of command over the subject knowledge. This is the most promising answer, because if the teacher doesn't know about the core of the topic, he will never make you understand about the subject. So this is the correct answer for this question, option number D, and all of these are wrong options. So very basic question, you need to keep this type of things in your mind. Now moving to the next, okay. So for the previous question, I have given the explanation here. So option number D we have selected. Now a teacher must have some of the common characteristics like strong subject mastery, because this is the most needed one. Okay. Next, conceptual clarity, ability to explain the topics, and yeah. So without having adequate subject knowledge, effective teaching cannot be like, it cannot happen. Okay, it will be very difficult to understand or to get that result, okay, of effective teaching. So you can go through this slide too. Now moving to the next question, question number 6. You can go through this question, and this is also very easy question regarding directions. We can try to do this, okay. The question is asking, a man walked 200 meters towards north, then he took a right turn and walked another 200 meters. Then he again took a right turn and walked 200 meters. Finally, he took another right turn and walked 300 meters. How far he is from the starting point and in what direction from it? So you need to find the distance and direction at the same time. I hope you can see the question clearly, because of the expansion it is kind of blurry, but no problem. So in this type of question, you just make this north, south, east, west, and then always start the starting position at the center and then follow the question, okay. So from the first line you will draw the direction, okay. So first line is saying man walked 200 meters towards north. So for example, this is 100, this is 200, okay, 200 meter north. So till here he have walked. Then he took a right turn. So if you are going towards this side, then your right side will be this side, right? So you will turn towards right. So you will go like this, 200 meter again saying, so 1, 2, okay. This is just with assumption you can draw the line, but you need to make it kind of similar so that you can draw the answer. So you have marked this one, then this one also, okay. Then he again took a right turn and walked 200 meter. So in here also, if you are moving this side, then if you are standing here looking towards the front, your right side will be this side. So here you again turn, that person again turn and again walk for 200. So this is 200, 1 plus 1, 2. So here again 1 plus 1, 2. So he will reach here. So we have marked this one. Now finally he took another right turn and walked 300 meter, okay. So from here, if he is facing like this, then his right will be on this side. So this is 1, this is 1, it means 100 meter. As the question is saying 300 meter, so you need to make another 100 meter here, okay. So he will walk towards here and he will stop here. Now the question is asking how far he is from his starting point. So this was his starting point, now he is in here, so he is far 100 meter from his starting point, and in which direction? You can see this is west. So the person is 100 meter from his starting point towards the west, and this is the correct answer. So these questions are very easy, but I know some of you are giving the exam for the first time. So perhaps this may help you in the examination. Just draw this one. and then you thoroughly read the question, and whatever turn that person is taking, if you are marking it, you just make a tick mark, so that you in between the question you never get confused, and that's how you will save your time. Okay, so we have got the correct answer, option number A. Now we can move to the next one. Yeah, here is the answer. So this is question number 7. Question number 7 is asking ozone layer. This is a very kind of what should I say, very common topic. Many a times you may find questions from ozone, then like atmospheric layers. These topics are very favorite of this question board. Okay, so question number 7 is asking ozone layer in outer atmosphere protects us from. You need to check the options first. Option number A is saying cosmic rays, option number C is saying UVC, option number C is saying UVB, then option number D is saying both B and C. You can take a minute and then think about it, because see, whenever it says ozone layer in outer atmosphere, you need to be very careful here. Take a pause whenever you find the question confusing, then you answer, because of this outer atmosphere, it may be a tricky one. Okay, so in this question you already know the ozone layer. For example, this is the ozone layer in stratosphere, so it protects us from UV rays. You also know that in the Arctic zone, some of the ozone part has got depleted, and then again it is reversing also. So if we know that in the stratosphere layer we have the ozone layer, so ozone layer protects us from the harmful UV rays, but in the question it is not just saying UV, but it is saying UVB and C. So you need to know that UVB and C is correct or not. Although it is correct, option number D here is saying both B and C are correct, but you need to know. So we should go to this explanation slide. Here it is saying the ozone layer absorbs most of the harmful ultraviolet radiation, that is UV rays, coming from the sun, and it completely absorbs UVC completely and partially absorbs UVB. Okay, because there may be another question coming from these options too. That's why you need to be more careful regarding this. Now, it does not protect from cosmic rays. That was also in the option, because cosmic ray is something different. Those are blocked mainly by Earth's magnetic field, and therefore both UVB and UVC are filtered by ozone, and that's your correct answer. Now I think we can move to the next question. So here it's a very famous list. You need to know about all these persons. So we will try to match this list. Okay, many a times this type of question comes. So you need to go for the most common person which you particularly know and very confidently know. Okay, if you know like Verghese Kurian, if you know him very confidently, then you go with him. If you know Sundarlal Bahuguna, then you go with him. So this type of question we will like take the approach with our own confidence. Okay, so for now my confidence lies with Verghese Kurian. Okay, so he is known for white revolution, but again you can see option number 4 and this list 4 saying with these two. So we can eliminate these two, but we have these two. From here we can find the correct one. Now you all know Sundarlal Bahuguna is known for Chipko movement. Okay, so I think we have got the correct answer. 1 is 1 here, 1 is 1. So option number B is the correct answer. So we can match the other one. So 2 also the same, 3 also the same. Why this slide is same? Because in the actual slide there are few more, but as you need to know about these persons precisely in one slide, that's why I have plotted them like this. So Sundarlal Bahuguna, you have to remember, related with Chipko movement. That movement was like hugging a tree so that that tree can be protected. Now options 2, that is Murlidhar Devidas Amte, Baba Amte you all know. So he is known for leprosy because he have given free treatments to the patients. Then Amrita Devi, she is she has sacrificed her life to protect the khejri trees, and Verghese Kurian for White Revolution. Here is the explanation slide where you can go through this slide and you can find that with which type of movement these people are related with. So Baba Amte you need to know, sometimes his full name was given in the question, sometimes his half name only given in the question. And Amrita Devi, we have already discussed, she has sacrificed her life in protecting khejri trees, and again this is under this Bishnoi movement. And Verghese Kurian, he is the father of White Revolution, and that is called Operation Flood. Now, question number 9, it is asking horizontal equivalent is the horizontal distance between two successive lines, which is called, this is very easy. If I draw this type of line for you, for example, let's say 50, let's say 100, for example 200. So you know this type of lines are the horizontal one, then distance between two successive lines are also kind of that similar type of gapping, and this type of lines used to show, for example, it's a mountain. So this we are saying in here, it means wherever you see very congested lines, that locations or that points used to show very high altitude zones. Okay, it means mountain peak that can be. And if you can see very like wide lines, then there may be very plain zones with lower slope. Okay, so as the question is asking horizontal equivalent of horizontal distance between the successive lines, you have already got to know that these lines are basically showing the particular height of a particular area, and that height should have to be equal for this line. It means this line is joining the equal points of equal height, and this line again joining the equal heights. So as this line is joining equal heights from the surrounding area, it is known as contours. Okay, so contour lines used to show equal height points in particular area region. You definitely find these contour lines in topographical maps or those natural maps where there are some lines like this. Very similar lines also you can find in the weather map, but weather maps lines are not contour lines, because contour lines used to demarcate the high altitude or maybe similar type of altitude zones. Mostly you can find the congested contour lines in particular regions where mountains or hills were present. Okay, if you find kind of similar lines in weather maps, then those will be particularly isobars, iso heights, that type of line, mostly showing pressures or precipitation differences, etc. So here isobath is there, latitudes, isobars also there, but for this question option number D is the correct one. Quickly checking the explanation slide. So here we have already discussed that it is a contour line joining equal height of a particular place. Isobath you need to know, it is the lines of equal depth. So isobath joins those points with equal depth. Next isobar, it joins the equal pressure points. That's why you see isobar lines in the weather map. Okay. Then latitudes, those are imaginary east to west lines. Okay, imaginary lines. Then these are longitudes, of course, and contours we have already discussed, connecting points of equal elevation, height or altitude. These three words are similar. Okay. Now question number 10. So question number 10 is, consider the following conversation. So Ritam is saying, I heard Julie failed her annual exam. You need to read this type of statements very carefully. Next statement is Neha, she is saying that cannot be true. It means Neha is saying that your sentence cannot be true, true written of course. So that cannot be true. Her class attendance is more than 90%. See, Ritam is saying that I heard Julie got failed in her annual exam. Neha is saying that that cannot be true, her attendance is more than 90%. So in this conversation, from this option you need to draw the actual conclusion. So quickly checking the options. So from this it can be inferred that Neha knows Ritam is a liar, option A. Option B, Ritam knows Julie failed. Option C, Neha assumes regular students cannot fail. Okay, that may be a kind of promising. Option D is saying Neha assumes to pass on one must be regular. Okay, this option number C and D looks kind of similar, but you need to be very careful in this point of this question. See, as the question is saying, Ritam saying I heard Julie failed in the annual exam, Neha saying that cannot be true, her class attendance is more than 90%. So this option number C is saying the same, this sentence, it is representing the same. Neha assumes regular students cannot fail. That's why C is shocked and C is saying that this cannot be true. So it is very easy. From this sentence you definitely got the correct answer, and if you find kind of confusing in attempting this type of question, you just need to do one thing. You just read this sentence first and then go to this, and then you come to the options. Then you will find the most promising one by reading the options. Okay, so we have got this as the most promising one because it is representing the above statement. So again we can check the explanation slide also. So Neha assumes that if someone has high attendance, they cannot fail. So that was also written in option number C. That's why option number C is the correct answer for this question. And I think that was it. These 10 questions from previous years of last 5 years, we have accumulated them in one place so that you can understand these questions, and also we have discussed how you can solve this type of question. So I think this will be helpful for your coming days. I think we can end this session here. Thank you.